whatever feels comfortable to share that you received, what you've learned, whatever you'd like to say.
One of the ways that I explain you and explain this whole experience is just sitting in front of pure love.
Oh,
And it opened me up. I think it opens everyone up to be able to grow. And that is one of the most amazing gifts you can give anyone. And then I think the power of having chakra 1, the first chakra, and having a month to really integrate it, to learn about it and integrate it and grow and build on top of each other, as you just explained, makes all the difference. You know, I've read books before, or I've done some little training, but to really learn a lot about a chakra in so many different ways over the course of a day, and then integrate for the month, and then keep building on that, really makes a difference.
Thank you.
And it seems to have lasting effects.
Thank you.
What's been nice is to have the one day after our class, we have a choice when we can meet with you. That's been really nice to help integrate, and it helps keep me, it helps me know that I'm supported and to stay focused on what I'm wanting to work on. So, and it's nice too because it's more of, it's a very intimate piece. It's one-on-one with you, and so that's also nice to be able to share those, well, just trouble points that you're having throughout the whole month. You don't feel like you're alone in all this.
No, that's absolutely, I'm glad you said that, because that's really, really important. Because this journey, this spiritual journey we're on, or any journey, is very difficult. And you do feel like you're alone sometimes. It's really important that you can feel safe. That's so important, and that you feel connected.
And during the month, I witnessed that things would just come up. There was a fascinating evolution that always seemed to be tied to the chakra that we were on. Things would come up in my life, physically, emotionally, and they were very distinct and precisely tied to the work that we were doing. And I think that leads to the lasting effect that you spoke to. And the other element that you mentioned that for me was very true, this was the first time in 38 years where I felt like I could sit in a room and genuinely be completely myself and trust that I would be accepted. And that was, I remember it was just monumental for me. And to this day I have that feeling when I think of who do I really, really trust. In the short amount of time that we know each other, the depth is very strong.
Well, it's that kind of like women, you know, the sacred feminine.
Yeah.
It's like really, because you've taught us that. You taught us about, you know, trusting that innate wisdom that we have inside us. And that has really spoke in so many deep ways for me, is just knowing that I know what's right for me. And I don't really have to question it. And I don't really question it. Not after all these months. It feels, if it feels right, checking in, taking a pause, taking a break, then it's right. I don't have to question that.
You've taught that trust in our own intuition, both in the interactions that you have with us. You ask us to ask ourselves and start to feel that, and then that practice, for me, I've been able to take that outside of this circle or our sessions when we have time individually and feel that again. And to start to learn almost a new muscle memory for trusting your own intuition. And I use the word muscle memory because you also teach us to feel things in our body and to pay attention physically what's going on. And so the physical reactions being an indication of what needs to be paid attention to. And so you start to learn to do it, and then it becomes more natural as it goes on.
That's so beautiful. All of you, thank you. That's
Well, and that-
awesome.
The way I see using this information too is, as a trained therapist, what was missing for me was they never taught boundaries, and this work is all about boundaries, and it's so important
Glad you said that.
in life in general, just getting through, right?
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I, after going through my master's in therapy, was the whole view is very masculine, and it's looked at that people are broken and need to be fixed, and you need to diagnose them. And that never worked for me. And what I love about this spiritual practice and learning about the chakras and trusting ourselves and our intuition is we're all whole, as you've said many times. And I can be a good model for other people just by saying, you're not broken, you're human, you're perfect the way you are. And I have found my voice in saying, you know, I don't believe in labeling. I don't believe in, you know, making somebody sick. People aren't sick.
That's right.
And I love that about this practice. That you can really embrace being human. And I think the best thing I can do is be a model out in the world of that, and also find my voice and speak up when it's appropriate, which I didn't do in the past. And I'm happy I'm doing it now. So, thank you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Well, I mean, I learned so much from you. Witnessing your strength and your courage to live your truth. That's the gift that I get out of this. You saying yes. And sometimes we think I don't have a choice, and sometimes we don't have a choice to say yes to our path. But I see many people not choosing it. And so it does. It takes a lot of courage to say, I'm going to live my truth. I'm going to follow my soul and my soul's path. And that is very courageous, because it means I can't no longer live an illusion, and I can't pretend anymore that I'm less than I am. And that means there'll be people that will fall away. There'll be people that will want to live through you and be you. And there'll be people that will be really, really grateful that you said yes, because it'll give them the courage to say yes in their life. So you become an example of such strength in the world. And that's what we need more of. People that are willing, really willing to say, I will live my truth. And it's not, of course, not from the ego, it's from the soul, that I will live the truth because I already said yes a long time ago. But it took me to go through what I went through in life and love myself through it and have the courage to continue the path no matter how hard it was and is, because the rewards are so great.
And then once you wake up and you see the truth, you can't turn back.
You can
No.
turn back.
No,
You see the lies everywhere.
I know. Well, that's what I tell people. You sure?
Yeah.
Because people say, I want to wake up. I'll say, are you sure? And then they'll say, yes, I'm sure. I'll say, are you sure? Are you really sure? Because exactly what you said, once you wake up, it actually pisses people off.
You want to wake up. It's a good thing.
It's a very good thing. But
Yeah.
people realize that they can't go back. And that means going back. It means I can't pretend anymore that I'm small. I can't pretend anymore that I don't know. I can't pretend that I don't feel what I feel. And I can't pretend that I'm not a magnificent human being. I can't pretend that anymore. And so it shouldn't upset us. But it does upset people, because when I can pretend that I'm less than, then I don't have to be responsible. So being awake means I have to be responsible. And that's why it's hard. I have to be responsible for my own actions. I have to be responsible for what I create. And so that's what makes it hard. But that's why I say thank you, because it's a very courageous thing. And you are amazing examples in the world.